Hey, what's up? It's Mykill Metal, and I'm playing some more Kerbal Space Program. And this time, I'm going to start a brand new save, and I'm going to send this rocket up. There's this little SRB on the bottom of it. Do a little bit of science, and recover it for, I think, like 30 to 40 science, and unlock some new stuff so I can start heading on up towards orbit. I lost that. That's okay. I'm going to do an EVA report. I'm going to do it again so I can actually get something from the ground as opposed to flying over while I'm attached to the side of it. Recover that. Yeah, I got 30 science. I'm going to unlock a couple of these things. And then I'm going to start with this one. It's got a couple of FASA parts on it. And it's got that magnetometer on the top. It's a little not aerodynamic, but it'll work for now. Retract that and launch. This is a little bit hard to control because I don't have any gimbaling on the engines, so it's going to tilt backwards the wrong way. And then once I stage, I'll be able to kind of correct it a little bit. All I need to do is get out of the atmosphere for this one, so I'm doing okay so far. It does a little tumble. Once I have the fins and some SAS stabilizers and stuff like that, I should be fine. And once the apoapsis raises above the atmosphere, I'm going to burn horizontally so I can stay outside the atmosphere a little bit longer. And I'm out of fuel. So now what I'm going to do is do a bunch of science, detach, take a couple screenshots, do the rest of the science, and get ready for re-entry. Time warp a little bit. Hopefully I don't come in too steep because I don't want to burn up. But the re-entry effects have been pretty kind of good with that, like through the new updates and stuff. It hasn't been too intensive on the heat shields. It's not like I'm going into Eve or something. That would be crazy. There we go, and this is the second version of that. And this one's going to make it all the way up into orbit. And I finally unlocked all of the stabilizing fins, and stuff like that, so this will be good. So the gravity turn. Stage. I'm gonna hold it off for a couple of seconds and then stage because I wanted to drift a little bit or coast. And this is the circularization, and I'm done. So now I'm going to point it north and south and do some science. EVA report. Use the Geiger counter. Manually use that, but I can't get any science because I've already gotten it. And because I did an EVA, I got the artificial satellite contract, which is problematic. Spin that around and flip it off. Take a couple more screenshots. I gotta rebind that temperature overlay key. Time warp until I get into the thicker part of the atmosphere. And then hopefully the mystery goo things don't burn up. And they're starting to heat up. Okay. That wasn't that bad. It was kind of a shallow re-entry. Pop the chutes. And I got 100 science from that, so that's good. Unlock a bunch more of the tech tree. Another thing that I decided to change for this one is I'm going to be using remote tech, so the unmanned launches and missions are going to be a lot more difficult because I'm going to have to set up the connection to the KSC through relay satellites. And this is the second version of the orbiter. I think I called it the Hopper. I'm not sure. Can't remember. It's my like go-to name for the beginning ships. This one actually has the service mod, or the cargo bay, I mean, or the service bay, whatever. We'll open that up and do some experiments. I also have the Nehemiah something. I'll figure that out in a minute. I have the science pack that basically puts science experiments from like the Gemini and Apollo missions, puts them inside the capsule, and there's another part you can put attached to it. It's I don't know, it's pretty cool. It gives you a bunch of extra science. I'm gonna time warp over here, get a connection to the KSC, and I'm gonna send a couple of these science reports back so I can get more crew reports. Because I realize I have plenty of fuel left, and I'm going to do a free return towards the moon. I'm going to climb out and grab all the science data from these things and store it in the capsule so I can keep doing them. Which is pretty cool, is you can just climb down there and then you can grab them off the backside of it too. I like that. Burn out towards the moon. There we go. Now that I'm in high orbit, I can actually do some more science. So I'm going to open that service bay up again. Send this crew report back so I can do another one in orbit of the moon. And I'm going to do a whole bunch of science. And then once I'm done, I'm going to gather it up, put it in the capsule, and time warp out here so I can do some more science in high orbit of the moon. Go take some of this stuff out of there. Put it back in the capsule. Some more science. Take all this stuff, put it in the capsule. There we go. Retract that and then time warp down to... Actually, I'm going to set up a maneuver node so I can do the return burn. That's going to put me in a 23 or to 26 kilometer periapsis over Kerbal, because that's pretty much perfect for whenever you want to return. And then I'm going to time warp a little bit until I get to low orbit. Got the Lunar Flyby mission contract. Switch over, now we're getting pretty close. There we go. A whole bunch of science. The goo seems to be less dense here. That's interesting. Yeah, take some of this. There we go. Grab onto there. And store that stuff in there. And I can do a couple of more EVA reports and Geiger counter things over different biomes as I fly by them. There we go. Still got a little bit of fuel left, so if I need to correct anything once I'm out of the sphere of influence, I can do that. After the burn, I mean. It's 153 meters per second burn, and I got 235 total. So Some more science. Grab some of this stuff. Do some more EVA reports. This is going to be an incredibly high amount of science. And then just skip the return trip and just bring it in as I'm coming in over the ocean. Like I said, a periapsis of about 23 to 26 is perfect. You never pull more than 5 Gs, and you always return in one piece. At least I've never seen it go higher than like 5 or 6 Gs. It could, depending on where you're returning from, but I don't know. Pop the chute. And I got 663 science off of that one, so that's awesome. And spend most of this and unlock pretty much the entire next level. And I think that's going to be it for this one, so if you liked the video, leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I will see you next time.
Other one's behind a tree. Got one. He's down. He's down.
I see it.